Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Life is funny. I've been wanting to do this subject for a little while now. Again, I want to talk about, sense of humor, laughing at the gaming table, and my sense of humor. And is there something wrong with me? What does it say about me? Uh, and just as I was thinking about doing this video a couple days ago, yesterday, Wendell Conrad posted in the RPG Brigade page on Facebook about humor at the gaming table, and it became a very controversial topic. Um, so it's not why I'm making this video. It just happened to be that we were thinking about it at the same time, and I'm going to take this from a slightly different tack, I suppose, different angle. So anyhow, as I've been looking at the RPG a day questions from 2016, answering them myself, and looking at a lot of other people's answers, and also, way before that, just talking to people, in the RPG brigade, watching other channels, just people that aren't involved in that brigade, but just involved in role-playing games, you know, I found myself uh, wondering a little bit because, as I look at more and more into like gaming philosophies and gaming styles and kind of embrace the big model, things like, are you, more simulationist or more, gamist or more narrativist, you know, and, if you're like me, and I'm me, so I am, I find myself resonating strongest with the simulationist um, point of view or preferences. A lot of gamist around the edges, I suppose. Very little narrative bent. But although I do like narration, just not from that the story bent, so to speak. Um, However, when I look back at those times where this is one of my most top 10 or whatever you want to call it, most memorable moments in role playing. It's not what a lot of people are talking about, where they're talking about, well, uh, there was a moment of great personal sacrifice, or the characters really kind of emerged or developed, or was, in a very immersive session, or was very epic, uh, etc. Go on down the list. It's times when I laughed, and laughed a lot. Not just a chuckle, although that's cool too, but absolutely, the big belly laughter where we had to stop the game for a minute. And the things that I laughed at were, varied. Sometimes it was just a very comical character, a very colorful character. A person really brought somebody to life, and they had some bizarre mannerisms. Sometimes it was out of character stuff that they happen to say that kind of embellished upon that, or somebody else poking fun at them. To be quite honest, in or out of character. Um, Very often, it would be what I call the long shot, where somebody decided to do something that was an incredible long shot, and the dice were kind to them that day, and we all just sat around going, like, I can't believe you just made it. That's impossible. And I don't think that's necessarily incompatible with the simulationist perspective. If anything, I think it kind of reinforces it a little bit because you and I have seen long shots happen, and at least I know how the real world works. And sometimes I'm like, huh, that's pretty funny. I can't believe that just happened. So you get the idea. Other times, and now here I wonder about myself more, it's when something incredibly misfortunate happens, whether or not it was a long shot. Sometimes the dice are just unkind. Sometimes just things happen. And, you know, a lot of times when I've laughed the loudest, it's involved, things are very misfortunate. Maybe the death of my character, somebody else's character, incredibly bad turn for the party. We run for our lives, whatever, There's always something about it that's a little bit twisted and funny. And, and often my laughing is only out of character. So I'm not sure why you know, why that is. I mean, except I know that I like to laugh. So as much as I like all those other things I talked about, and being immersed and having the game, be serious, um, I like to laugh. So those moments, if I think back of like, my best moments, it's always something involving a lot of laughter. So I'm not sure what that says about me, as a person, and as a gamer, and what my real motivations are, if I have any. Um, the other thing is, and I'm only going to kind of briefly touch on this, is, there's some groups of people I've gained with, where we all know each other pretty well. We all have some pretty off senses of humor, or oddball, um, and we're comfortable with each other. We know what the boundaries are, and there's a lot of things we've laughed at or said that I'm not going to repeat here, put on a forum or anything like that. Not because I'm embarrassed about it, but there's good taste, and I don't want to offend anybody. So I mean, this is a group decision, so to speak. And yeah, I don't, it wasn't things where we were being cruel or anything like that, or really out over the top. But we laughed about some stuff that I'm not going to say in front of kids, is the bottom line. And that's just what happened. But once again, you know, I like a lot of other aspects of gaming quite a bit. Um, but the laughter, to me, I don't want to play in a group that's on a table where there's not a lot of laughter, or a good deal of it. Is that a synonym? Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm not saying that from on high or being judgmental. It's just I know sooner or later I'm going to find it less interesting, or less satisfying. Laughter to me is very important. So, what do you think? Am I crazy? Does this say something terrible about me as a person or as a gamer? And what about you? How important is laughter for you at your gaming table? If you look back at your favorite moments in playing role-playing games, do a lot of them involve laughter? Tell me about it.